Well, I've got a stocks and shares ISA. I used to have a cash ISA, but it wasn't producing much by way of return. So I shifted everything into a stocks and shares ISA. Opened that ISA in 2016, so it's 9 years old now. I've gradually been putting more and more money into it over the years. Well, I'm getting close to retirement. This year, for the first time, I've sort of started winding back some of my hours and I'm doing less work. So my ISA is really a retirement account. I'm drawing the income of that ISA out once a quarter, and I'm using that to pay my living expenses in addition to my reduced salary that I'm taking out of my employment. And the idea is gradually, as I reduce my working hours, I'll get to a point where either I will have to start taking some of the capital out of the ISA and or taking some money out of my SIP. But that's a separate issue, but that's something I want to delay as long as possible for tax reasons, as well as I just want to keep that SIP to one side. It's a kind of capital growth fund for me. Yeah, okay, so we started the ISA in 2016, and I've been adding to it since then. In terms of decisions about investing, I do some research. I've got a financial background myself, so I go and look at financial statements, I look at stockbroker reports. I do take recommendations from other people, but not at face value. I'll do my own homework on them. So I do a whole lot of research as best I can. Ultimately, then you've just got to jump in if that's what you want to do. I don't try and time the market or anything like that, because I think that's a bit of a fool's errand. You're never going to get it right. Professionals don't get it right. I'm certainly not going to. So you plunge in and make a decision based on the research that you've done. What I like about AJ Bell, it's pretty easy to use, it's intuitive. There's a very broad range of potential investments. So you can, of course, stick to the Unilevers or Barclays or HSBC if that's what you want to do. But exploring more broadly, and because I wanted a fairly diversified portfolio of shares to be able to invest offshore and keep it within the same wrapper, so within the same ISA or alternatively within the SIP, but it's all on the same platform, that's really, really useful. It also means then that all the payments of things like dividends, any corporate actions are all handled on that platform. I get alerted when something happens. I'm not relying on individual companies sending me stuff in the mail that I might need to respond to. And it's really easy for me, because I'm now an income investor really in my ISA, it's really easy for me to keep track of dividends. So I get an alert whenever a dividend is paid into the account. I can go into the secure messages if I want to see the exact breakdown of how much I've been paid, which is useful if you have offshore investments, to know what the foreign currency amount is, what tax might have been deducted and so on. Or I just pick it up on the cash statement. So really easy to use. I've got the AJ Bell app on my phone, so I can always access that. So if I get an alert to say a dividend's been paid into my account, I can just log into the app, see who's paid me and how much it was. I also keep a track in my diary when a dividend is announced, so I know what to expect, and I just line those up. Yep, okay, fine, I've got my, say, Diageo dividend. It was due yesterday, and yep, it's in my account. Great, all good. So it's quite easy to both to use from a transactional point of view, but also to keep a track of things. I also use the portfolio monitor, so bring it up and you can see how much it's changed by day or since you first bought that particular investment. It's fairly easy to keep track of things.